Hi, I'm Craig Drayton from the WelTec EdTech team. In this video, I'll show you how to use Turnitin in your course. Once you've had an assessment approved for use with Turnitin, the EdTech team will set up a Turnitin activity in your Moodle course. This is where students submit their assessments and also where you will read the originality reports from Turnitin. First, click on the Turnitin assessment that you wish to view. This screen shows information on the configuration of your assessment. Next, click on Submission Inbox. Here you will see a list of your students. From this screen, you can download a copy of a student's submission by clicking the page and arrow icon to the right of the submission you wish to download. This gives you a clean copy of the submission, which doesn't include information from Turnitin. This screen also shows the Turnitin Similarity Index for each submission. You can sort by Similarity Index by clicking on Similarity in the first row. For more information on a student's submission, click on the coloured Similarity Index bar for that submission. This will open a Turnitin window. Make sure you're in the Originality tab, and this displays the Originality report for the student. Before we start reading the Turnitin Originality Report, there are some very important things to keep in mind. Firstly, Originality reports do not indicate plagiarism. Turnitin compares the text in the submission against a large database of existing text, including from the internet and from other students' work. The Originality Report highlights any text in the submission that matches text from another source. Just because Turnitin finds a match, it doesn't mean that the text is plagiarized. Matches can be coincidental, they can be misreferenced text, or they can be correctly referenced text. So Turnitin Originality reports compare submitted text against other texts and highlight any matches. This is not the same as detecting plagiarism. Secondly, the Similarity Index is not important. The first thing Turnitin users tend to notice is the Similarity Index, which shows the percentage of matched text in the submission. You can see it at the top right hand side of the screen. It's common for new users to ask, how much similarity is acceptable? But it's best not to pay too much attention to this index. It's particularly important that you don't set a single threshold that you consider acceptable. Each assessment is different. For example, you would expect a piece of original poetry to have fewer coincidental matches than an introductory essay on a popular topic. My advice is to look at the Similarity Index results for your class as a whole. Submissions which have an index that differ significantly from the average might be worth a closer look. Thirdly, Turnitin provides you with information, but your academic judgment is more important than ever. Turnitin can lead you to the wrong conclusions if you don't use it carefully. Quite often, a high degree of matching may occur because a student didn't understand how to reference quotes correctly. Also keep in mind that a clean report from Turnitin does not rule out plagiarism. There are many sources that aren't in Turnitin's database. So traditional methods of detecting academic dishonesty are still important. Don't let Turnitin replace your good judgment and intuition. So what information does the Turnitin Originality Report provide? In the main section of the screen is a copy of the student's submission. Text from the submission that has been matched against text in the Turnitin database is highlighted and given a number. The match overview on the right-hand side of the screen shows some basic information on each of the detected matches. If you want more detail on a match, click on the arrow corresponding to that match, which is by the percentage figure. This opens the match breakdown window, which lists the source or sources that the text has been matched against. In this example, the text has been matched against several student papers and also several internet sources. Consider the kinds of sources that are listed and how many there are when you are making a judgment on a passage of matched text. If you click on one of the listed sources, a window will pop up showing text from that source. You can also click on Full Source View This displays the text from the matched source with the matched part of the text highlighted. You can see it here in red. This is useful information in making a judgment on whether a match is coincidental or whether plagiarism has occurred. Turnitin gives you some helpful information, but interpreting that information in order to make a judgment can be difficult. If you would like help interpreting a Turnitin originality report, contact your academic advisor. Turnitin is just a small part of preventing plagiarism and encouraging academic honesty. Plagiarism is any act in which one person passes off the ideas of another as their own, and there are many forms it can take. See this link for more information. There are some things you can do to reduce the impact of plagiarism on your students. First, you can take time to prepare your students for academic work so they understand why and how to reference their sources. This means helping them to understand that ideas are seldom original, they come from other ideas. Getting them to think about which ideas have helped them develop their own or have served to test their ideas. And showing them how to record and acknowledge the source of these other ideas and to reference these in their writing. Second, you can design your assessments to minimize plagiarism. Do this by putting assignment work in the student's personal context, using reflecting, self-chosen case studies, or integrating classroom work with field work. Or you can make them on recent or emerging events where there won't be much prior material written. Avoid collect, describe, and present type questions in favor of analyze and evaluate. Use authentic assessment, that is, real-world tasks that they would do on the job that they're training for, to minimize standardized essays. Also, write new assessment briefs for each course, or design assignments as content-free as possible. Third, place a statement on the assignment cover sheet in which the student declares and signs that the work is all their own and all sources are cited. So what should you do if you do suspect plagiarism? If you suspect that a student has plagiarized their work, refer to Procedure A4, P8, Academic Dishonesty, in the Academic Manual. It is vital that you follow this procedure, which ensures that WelTec applies a consistent and fair approach to investigating allegations of academic dishonesty. The first step of the procedure is to discuss your concerns with your head of school.